Hello and welcome to Tech Dredge, that strange part of the internet where everybody seems to be wearing clothes. Today I'm having a look at that classic 144Hz 1080p monitor, the Asus VG248QE. The Asus VG248 is packaged reasonably well with hard foam. I had 3 of these shipped to me and no damage to any of them. Also included in the box is a DVI cable, a power cable, and an audio cable. Physical overview is pretty standard, a black bezel that's thin enough for surround, for me at least, with menu controls along the bottom edge. On the back there's not much to notice, though the I/O is hidden along the bottom. There are inputs for DisplayPort, HDMI, DVI dual link, as well as audio in and out. The stand is robust, it's actually quite good. It features a generous height adjust plus swivel and pivot, which is always useful for accessing your inputs, even if you aren't a heavy portrait mode user. The base comes complete with a cable management clip that can handle a good amount of cables. Once you turn on the monitor, it looks pretty damn good for a TN panel that's a few years old. Colors are reasonable in their accuracy and viewing angles are fine in landscape mode. Brightness is great, contrast is very good, though you might notice some of the blacks being crushed a bit. That said, you aren't buying this for the great contrast or color accuracy, you're forking out your money because of that refresh rate. For those of you who don't know, a monitor refreshes its image a certain number of times a second. Most monitors refresh 60 times every second. This monitor refreshes 144 times every single second, theoretically allowing for super smooth motion or sending 60 frames per second to each eye for 3D viewing. Of course, with this means you need a graphics card capable of running games at 144 frames per second to take full advantage of the monitor. Yes, 144Hz for epic smooth gameplay. And my verdict on this is, I can't notice it at all. I run 3 of these next to each other, all 144Hz, and one monitor above them, which is mirrored to a TV at 25Hz. And in games or general Windows usage, I simply can't tell the difference. This seems unique to me though, as everyone else who's used them can immediately tell the difference. I can tell the difference when playing high frame rate video though, so there's that. So why did I buy 3 of these if I can't tell the difference? Well, I'm one of those people who likes 3D, and I thought I'd wait 5 years after 3D was cool so the technology had time to mature, and this monitor is really great for 3D. Yes, annoyingly you have to purchase a NVIDIA 3D kit for an insane amount of money, but the results are sensational. Games, especially in surround, become so much more immersive. Hitman Absolution, Dirt 3 and Grand Theft Auto are the only PC games I own, and they are all very well optimized for 3D. Using Dolphin Emulator, I was able to get a fair amount of my Wii library working in 3D, like at 1080p as well. So Mario Kart Wii and Super Mario Galaxy were the highlights, though Overworld's New Super Mario Bros. Were orgasmic. Twilight Princess looked good at first, but it had a bunch of weird issues with reflections. Well, can't win them all. If you're using 3D for first-person shooters, you may have issues with the crosshair, so Asus includes its own crosshair built into the monitor. No idea how well it works, but it's there. 3D movies are also a fantastic experience, though you really need Cyberlink Power DVD to get the most out of it, and boy is that overpriced. But it can handle 3D Blu-rays and convert 2D content to 3D on the fly. 3D Blu-rays are of course the more optimal experience, but I got really good 3D results out of converted 2D 1080p content. Modern Family, Silicon Valley, and the later seasons of Futurama are all highlights here. I will have a separate video on NVIDIA 3D Vision coming in a couple of weeks that will go into a lot more detail about this. Rotate the monitor into portrait and things get a bit uglier. I do most of my writing, programming and print design work in portrait mode, and the viewing angles aren't that great. They're usable for those tasks, but I tried gaming in portrait surround and the color shift was just too distracting, which is a pity because it's a great resolution to game at. The monitor includes a couple of speakers. I thought mine were broken at first, but that's just the analog input being completely awful. If you play audio through HDMI or DisplayPort, the sound quality is loud enough, though it's not exactly great. Another thing that threw me was that third-party DVI cables will not run this monitor at 144Hz. You have to use the ones that are included in the box, which weren't long enough for 2 of my monitors. I must have tried 50 different cables before I gave up and used DisplayPort. You can get around this, as I said, by using any old DisplayPort cable, though it's also worth noting you cannot drive this or any other 144Hz monitor over HDMI. If you use the HDMI cable, you are limited to 60Hz. Newer monitors have HDMI 2.0 that will do it, but this one is not that modern. So is it any good? Yes. Would I buy it again? Probably. I dislike monitors larger than 24-inch 16:9 and still prefer 1080p for most work and greatly enjoy 3D content, so this still remains the best choice for that workflow. However, if you don't need the 144Hz, whether that be for 3D or competitive play, I'd probably go with an IPS panel to get better color accuracy and better viewing angles, especially in portrait mode. And especially as I'm starting to do more video editing, that accuracy has become a lot more important to me. But I can always have an IPS monitor on the side. Until someone comes along with an affordable 24-inch 144Hz IPS panel, this remains the best choice for my use case scenario. Thanks for watching Tech Dredge, and if you watch again next week, you'll see a review of a very different kind of monitor, the Blackmagic SmartView Duo. It's actually really interesting to watch, so I'll see you then.